What's going on? Welcome to early Sunday Q&A. So I have really not posted I didn't post any videos this week, and that's mostly because I was building an oven. So I pretty much just, this oven project has just kind of gotten out of hand. Now that it's finally done and I'm actually going to use the new oven, it's today I'm going to use it. It's just going to be so much better because I won't be working on this oven project. It's just crazy that it took me like almost 2 weeks to build it, and most of that was just trying to figure things out to make it how I want it. And even though it is the size I want it, it could always be bigger. I was also doing some stuff in the background. I was working on the V6 a little bit and my Magnum and trying to find parts cars, which it seems like cars at the auction have been going really, really crazy. Price wise, I was looking at a few Scat Packs and they're going, they're just totaled in the front and they're going all the way up to almost 20 grand. And if I'm going to spend $20,000 on a Scat Pack, I'm going to buy a Hellcat. So we'll, just keep looking to figure out what's going to happen with, parts cars. I want to find some cars so I can make the Magnum a little bit more complete. I did pick up a new Magnum today, just for some parts that I needed for my Magnum. So I was looking for a quarter window for quite some time. I found a few of them and people were like, yeah, I'll sell you the hatch for like 250 bucks. I'll sell you the quarter window for, like 250 bucks. And I was like, well, that's great and all, but I could just buy a whole parts car for that. So, if you have the ability to store a parts car, you might as well buy one. So I picked up another Magnum over here, and it's actually, other than it being wrecked in the front, the people pulled the engine and transmission out of it because they were using it in their 300C. But otherwise, the body is really, really clean. It has the pre-tinted quarter windows, which are really hard to find. So now I have a quarter window. I have a same color hatch because my hatch kind of got dinked on the top up here, and just so on. So this car was a V6. It only had 60 something thousand miles on it, which was really, really low. They wrecked into something, so the front end is a little bit wrecked. It kind of buckles right there, and down there it's kind of messed up. The dash is kind of messed up, but parts car wise, it's perfect. So it has everything I need. I'll also have another rear bumper if I ever need one. Well, obviously I'm going to probably need rear bumpers and hatches and stuff like that. But yeah, so we'll use this. This will be a dedicated parts car. I also have taillights. So it also has this door over here, which is not all smashed in, and it's the same color, so that works out very well. And it's also all weathered on the trim, so it'll look just like the other one. But yeah, I'm really happy I got this thing for pretty cheap. Also the interior inside of it, so my interior in the hatch area, the cargo area, was pretty gross. It wasn't it was definitely cleanable, but this back here just needs to be vacuumed, and everything is really, really clean. It seems like every Magnum I buy comes with coolant back for some reason. So like I said before, I'm going to flock some of this stuff and then do some Alcantara sway. But yeah, I'm just pretty happy that I got this Magnum. I have this Magnum. In the period of time, I've acquired a few Magnums. So, and then we have this Magnum in here. So yeah, I haven't driven this in a week. Still waiting on the title situation from the auction. But yeah, I can't wait to finally get the title situation all situated, because it's kind of a pain. I want to really drive this car. I wanted to take it to Cletus and Cars, but without having plates, that's a really long way to drive. And then if I got pulled over, it would have been a big deal. So, and plus I do not have the title anymore because the auction has the title again. So it just would have been like this really crappy scenario if I ever got pulled over in it, which, that's a long way to drive. And I probably would have been speeding. I usually speed all the way to Texas, but that's here nor there. So Let's see what you guys are saying, because I've been ignoring you. Hi first. What's up, Dave? Hi fourth. Not much. How are you? Oh, not much. Hello. That's good. No videos this week. I'm going through withdrawal. Yeah, I was really trying to get a video out, and it just seemed like every single day I was making content, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I made enough progress to make a video. So I just kind of withheld it from you guys. So I said this last week, but hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna powder coat some of the RX-7 stuff today. Hopefully tomorrow I have the oven, the DIY oven video, and powder coating some stuff. So just to like show that it works. And I mean, it's surprising how fast it gets up to temperature and everything. So it's a lot bigger than the house oven, but yeah, it still works very well. But I'm going to do that once I'm done with this live stream. I just wanted to drop off the new Magnum at the Junkyard, and probably tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow? I'm doing something, but I want to pull the hatch and maybe the quarter windows out of that new Magnum, as well as the rear interior, and kind of work from there. But yeah, that should, I don't know. Well, I should have some videos this week. It's just been one of those things. I've just been working a lot on stuff that really hasn't been enough to make a video. What's going on with the 240 is just kind of chilling. Your favorite part of this build? Driving the builds is the favorite part of them. Big fan of the Magnum videos. So I have been working in the background. Like I said, I've been looking for cars at the auction, and I've also been trying to find a new wide body charger. We're just, it's just one of those things. I'm trying to do this Magnum as well as build the new Magnum. So hopefully I can find everything I need. I need a few different cars, which I think the issue with just using, so I saw recently some people sent me links on my Instagram of somebody that did a panel swap onto a Magnum from a charger. And the car, it looked cool because it looked like a charger, but at the same time it looked very not well done, because the chargers don't have any flares. They're just really skinny. So without the flares, it just looked kind of badly done. Plus, I guess they said the hatch didn't open and stuff like that. It's a cool concept. I mean, I want to do it as well, but I want to do it right. So I almost don't want to have the wide body charger flares. I almost want to just integrate the Magnum metal flares, because at the same time, the charger flares would look cool, but the Magnum, I'm almost positive that they're the same width as the wide body chargers. These flares stick out about the same as my Hellcat, and they just won't have that little lip right here. But I mean, I feel like these are the same. Plus they're metal. It's one piece. It looks a lot sleeker. I mean, look at the front up there. It looks just like my Challenger front. Like look at the line on that. I mean, that looks exactly like the flare. It just doesn't have that little flat spot. Where's my finger at? It doesn't have that little flat spot. So, I mean, I would almost rather integrate the Magnum flares, the metal flares, into the charger doors, and that would almost make it so I didn't need a 2020. But I would want the new 2020 front end, because the 2020 front end and the rear bumper is super. I really like how they changed it up, and they I'd have to integrate the flare into the bumper as well. But that's coming. I mean, I need the cars just so I could start tinkering with it. I mean, that's like the biggest thing, is actually having it in front of me so I can touch it and kind of do stuff with it. So hopefully I can find one soon, as well as get that project underway. So let's see, finish the VR4. The VR4 is actually, so I have ordered a blow-up paint booth from China. I'm just waiting for it to come here. Once I get it, I'll be able to paint the the doors and the hood and the rear bumper on the VR4. Plus, I'll be able to paint stuff whenever I need to, instead of just kind of lingering around wanting to paint stuff and not having a paint booth of my own to do it. So this will be a really good solution for that. And yeah, I do want to see the VR4 done as well. So hopefully it's coming. Let's see. Hi, Dave. What's up, Dean? Why is everyone's name Dave? Stream fail. Huh, I don't know what that's about. What's going on, Dave? It's been a while since you really released any videos. Yeah, I know. Let's see. It would be cool if you took the other Magnum to the track and time it. See, it would be cool, but right now it's winter and there isn't any, strips open, any road courses open. So I'm waiting for the summer. It's coming. It's a couple months away till the tracks start to open, and it will be cool. Weather on trim, it matches the other one. Want more updates on the 392 Magnum. It's making my 5.7 so jealous. Every time Dave says Magnum, drink. Hell yeah. If you have a Hemi, then you will have a bottle of 2-hour coolant. I mean, so far this one hasn't used any coolant. I haven't really driven it that far. I've only driven it probably 800 miles, but I mean, I've been ripping it when I've driving it, so. Need an LSD for my Challenger. Yeah. You do nice work. Thanks. Can I have the Magnum? Shh. What's going on with the 240SX? It's just kind of chilling. Get the 08 SRT Magnum hood. What am I going to do with... Let's see. What are you going to do with the rest of the Magnum? Which one? The parts one, I'm not exactly sure. I'm probably not going to use any of the interior in it. So I'll probably sell the interior pretty cheap. I really don't need any of that stuff. And I'm going to use all the rear interior. I'm going to use the hatch. I'm going to use the, the rear bumper, probably the quarter panels and stuff like that. So there won't be very much of the car left over. Just pretty much the front, which is wrecked. So I don't know. In the interior. Work on some muscle Mopar. Let's see. Gonna make me buy a Magnum just to let it collect dust. Hello from Scotland. Glad you're back, Dave. When do you think Magnum 2 will be getting started? Like I said, I need to find a lot of parts cars to do the build. So it's coming, but it's just one of those things. It takes a long time to actually find parts cars, and I'm not going to spend. I mean, I was like I said about those scat packs. I'm not going to spend twice as much as a car should go for at the auction, just because people are buying them for. I'm not exactly sure why the people bought those, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Do I think there'll be a new Magnum for 2020 or 2021? There won't be one out in 2020. It'll probably be 2021 if they decide to release one. But even then, I mean, they already have all the stuff. It'd be easy for Dodge to make a new Magnum. It's just one of those things. They're probably looking at the numbers and they're not there. I mean, it just kind of goes to show for my videos. I mean, my Magnum videos get, I don't know, let's say like 30, 40 to 100,000 views. Dodge knows that 100,000 people aren't going to buy a Magnum. They're probably even 30,000 people aren't going to buy a Magnum. So they would actually have to make the decision off of, interest. I mean, if the interest isn't there, if they're not going to be able to sell 100,000 of the like new Magnums or new Hellcat Magnums or something like that. Well, not Hellcat Magnums, but all together, like 100,000 of them. Is it really worth them producing a new Magnum is the question. So they're just looking at numbers. I understand why they haven't made one, but at the same time, it is a cool concept. And, it would be cool if they did make a newer Magnum. But I feel like if they did make a new Magnum, it wouldn't look like a Charger and it wouldn't look like a Challenger. So I think if they did make a new Magnum, a lot of people would be disappointed because they have this mindset that they want the new Magnum to look like the Charger, and it's probably not going to at the end of the day, because really the Magnum isn't you know, it's not the same body lines as a Charger or a Challenger. It's its own, you know, body. It's its own body style. So, you know, they would really have to pull something out if they were going to make one. But I don't know. I want to build me one that I can fix up. As always, cracking content. Watching from England. Thanks, Joseph. Can you Hellcat a Magnum? Yes, you can. Showing some support from Thornton, Colorado. How's the Hellcat Challenger coming along? Thanks, man. So the Hellcat is actually, after I go to dinner today, I plan on painting the hood and some of the accent trim. So I got the brackets, what was it? Friday. No, yesterday was Saturday. So I got them Friday, and I should be able to, so I'll paint that stuff tonight. And then Monday, as long as it doesn't snow, I should be able to drive the Hellcat over to the shop, put the bumper and the hood on, and then be able to look at it. Like it'll look like a Hellcat. So yeah, I can't wait. That'll probably be Tuesday or Wednesday's video, as long as everything goes smoothly and I actually get to paint the stuff tonight. So yeah, I can't wait to see the car all together and you know, pretty much done. So yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome. Let's see. Do you think you'll build another Magnum? I plan on building the Hellcat one eventually. Want to buy the Magnum when you're done having fun with it. Since the Magnum V6 is practically indestructible, give me a shout out. Josh Jones, shout out. What's up? How about you turbo one of your Magnums? So the Hellcat, when I build the Hellcat Magnum, like I've said before, I plan on taking the supercharger off of it and throwing two big twins on it, because, you know, the supercharger is an awesome feeling, but there's so much more potential in turbos over superchargers, just because you can use an electronic boost controller through, you know, externally or through the ECU, and you literally can just turn the boost up instead of changing pulleys and changing this and that and all kinds of crazy stuff when you have a supercharger. So yes, it's going to be turboed, but we need to build it first. So there's a guy putting a wide body kit on his Mustang with flares from a donor Mustang. Tight. The fail was the stream froze like 20 seconds and I was missing the story. Plans to modifications to the truck. Really, the truck is modified. I mean, it's tuned, it's deleted. The only thing that's not modified on it is, I mean, I don't have like airbags or anything crazy, and I don't have wheels. So, I mean, the truck has a tune. It has a race tune. I don't have it on it right now. I have it on the hot street, which I think is like, I'm not exactly sure what horsepower, but the race tune's like 600, 1200. So, I mean, the truck's, you know, pretty much where it needs to be, other than I wish it had some better wheels on it. But I don't know. It's one of those things. I've driven it around so long how it is. Is it really worth putting wheels on? So let's see. Can I buy the driver's side door in the passenger side door on the driver's, what the hell? Driver's side. So you need the driver's side front and rear. Hold on. I need to buy the driver's side. I mean, I don't think I need either of those doors because mine aren't damaged, so I'll sell them. What did you find out with the oil additive? So I haven't re-pulled the FC oil pan. I'll probably pull it the next time I change the oil, just to see what's going on. But you know, I just think it collected in the bottom. That's the only real explanation. The car runs too well for it to be anything else. So let's see. Name it the Speedwagon, Magnum Hellcat. Price on the interior. Um, everything like the interior will include everything except for the rear hatch trim. So I don't know, like $100, $200, something like that. So if you want to come pull it, I don't know. I don't really want to ship all that interior somewhere because it'd probably be more in shipping than the interior actually costs. So evening, Dave from Cape Town. Cape Town man 305. What's up? Price on the interior. Dope builds? Thanks. Shout out from St. Louis. What is up? 4 a.m. in Australia. It's pretty early. Watching from Holland. What is going on, Peter? Told so many people here in St. Louis about your Magnum build. Thanks, Eric. I was almost thinking about, so there was a car I was bidding on, but it went too high, and it was in, I think it was in St. Louis, but I was planning on actually bringing my Magnum, towing it with me because I have my 2-car, and then just kind of, ripping it around when I get places because, I mean, it'd be cool to drive this around and then have to drive my truck and trailer everywhere. So unfortunately, the car went too high, but I'm still looking around, and there are a few potential cars that, I mean, there was one in New York. I mean, I don't know, they're everywhere. So I plan on, I really want to drive this thing around. I really want to drive the Hellcat around too, but we'll see. Let's see. Dave, what's up, man? What's up? Let's see. Where you been? I've been working on a lot of things. You're doing a great job. From South Africa. I feel it. Shout out from Seattle. When you do a major disassembly like the front end of the Hellcat, how do you keep track of all the parts and fasteners and remember how it all goes back together? I really have a pretty good memory, especially if I take something apart. It's when I don't take it apart, and I usually can figure out how it goes together, but it's a lot easier if I take it apart. If I take it apart, I mean, I could just have all the bolts in a box, and I can kind of remember which bolt goes where just by like the color and like the size and which like thread pitch it is, because I can look at bolts and pretty much know, if they're M8s or M6s or, 10s or 12s or something like that. But, it's just one of those things. I don't know. I just kind of can remember how it goes back together. Like the V6 for the Magnum, it's kind of just chilling right there. I have all the bolts at a pile, but I mean, it's pretty simple. Head bolts are a certain length, oil pan bolts are a certain length, stuff like that. So it's pretty easy. Do I use a shop manual? Take careful notes. So I really don't take any notes or anything like that. The only time I ever take notes is, well, not really notes, but when I measure bearing clearances or cylinder clearances or something like that, I'll write them down because you have to do so many measurements. It'd be really hard to remember, how many decimals and stuff like that it was over like 6 cylinders. So yeah, I don't know. I usually write that down, but not much else. I use shop manuals, not shop manuals, but I'll find like torque specs and stuff like that. But I really don't refer to any, per se shop manuals. Let's see. How much would I charge to do a Magnum build like mine? Like I've said previously to people that have asked, if the person provides the cars and the parts, which so far I've been looking at Scat Packs, and it seems like the going rate for a Scat Pack charger, for some reason I'm not exactly sure why they have increased so much, and they're going for like $18,000 to $20,000, and they're pretty wrecked. I mean, I'd almost, I didn't bid on them, so I don't know why people are paying that much for them, because they're hit super hard in the front. And as I've said before, if the car's hit in the rear, it's cheaper to fix them because all the stuff is in the front. There's so many different little brackets and trim and ducts and stuff like that. In the rear, it's literally just the quarter panels, the trunk, the rear bumper, and it's probably like the floor. I mean, you could rebuild the whole rear of a car on like a Charger or Challenger, parts wise, for less than 5 grand. The front of one of them, if you have to piece all that stuff together, it's like my Hellcat. I had like almost $30,000 in parts just because there's so many little brackets and trim and stuff like that that you can't find, because most of them are wrecked in the front. So you have to order all that stuff new. And it's yeah, I don't know why people are paying that much, especially because they're salvage title cars. Love to see the Beast in St. Louis streets. That'd be tight. Let's see. You filled your keyboard with peanut butter. My Magnum loses power. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. People, don't be lazy. 1:45 a.m. in Malaysia. What's up, Dave? Didn't see you uploading any content for a week now. Yeah, I've just been working on a lot of stuff. Shout out from the Caribbean. Dang. My dog licks. Oh, Jesus. If somebody else disassembles, it's a nightmare. It's crazy, because usually the one thing I really don't like, so it's cars go through the auction and they're completely disassembled, and it makes sense because they go to a body shop first. The body shop has to pull them apart, and they literally, to do the estimate, so the insurance can figure out if the car's a total loss or if they're going to fix it or something like that. But the one thing I really don't like about a body shop touching it first, I would rather it just go from the accident, the insurance gets it, and then they just list it to the auction. Because once the body shop gets it, they pull all this stuff off of it, a bunch of stuff that you probably could have used. They do whatever. I have no clue what these body shops are doing with the stuff. Like, they keep it and sell it or something. Because I've seen Chargers that are missing headlights and stuff like that, and they're hit like in the wheel, like they pulled all the stuff to pull the fender off, and then they didn't ever put it back on. So, and then another thing is, if they do put all the stuff in the car, like if they do keep all the stuff, they don't put it back on the car. They just throw it inside the car and like destroy all the interior, because they just throw like fenders in there and all kinds of stuff, and then people pull them in and out. I mean, it's really scary buying cars for interior, because you want to buy one that doesn't have the pieces, because if there are the pieces, they threw it all inside of the car, and most likely or not, it damaged the interior. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, it's just people working, and they really don't care about it, because the insurance is just going to auction it off, and the insurance doesn't really care about it. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Okay. You have a lot of patience as well. Thanks. How much crack you smoked today? Oh, shit. What your scat pack? I used a 2016, which I'm actually surprised that my 2016 had electric power steering, because I've seen a lot of 17 Hellcats that still have hydraulic power steering, and I was like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't get a scat pack with hydraulic power steering. I would have been kind of mad. Let's see. Going to the YouTube call out in Dallas. Not invited. I don't know what it's even about. Hello from Cincinnati. What's going on? You get some characters on your live feeds? Yeah, sometimes. Let's see. Let's see. I'm in Dallas. What's a YouTube call out? You have to be YouTube call outs. You pretty much have to be invited to. So if you're not invited to them, you just get I guess on that drift week or whatever, there were a few people that tried to join in, and they were pretty pissed because it was like invite only. So there's I have no clue why the I lost the connection, because I actually have pretty good service at the Junkyard. But yeah, YouTube call out stuff is like you have to be invited, but if you go, you're pretty much just wasting your time because they're not gonna let you in. It's like a private party that you have to be invited to. So I'm not really too worried about it because I'm not really, I don't know. It's not one of those things that I really care about, because I could just do me and just kind of chill, which would be, I get more stuff done. And those things are just kind of, they look fun, but most of the time they're not. Let's see, take the Magnum. That'd be nice. I would like to take the Magnum to something. I really, once I get that title in my name and get this thing registered, can't wait. Next video. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this live stream around here because I need to do a lot of stuff today. I want to get the stuff prepped for the Challenger, so I can get it painted tonight, and I also want to get that stuff powder coated for the FC, so I could finish that video for tomorrow. Because once I powder coat that, I could edit the video and start uploading it, which I think it's going to be hopefully a decently long video, because it was over like a week and a half of just stuff, me building stuff, and yeah. So thank you for tuning in to my Sunday live stream. I hope I answered some of you guys' questions, and hopefully I have a video out tomorrow. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.